All right, Tabitha.
Yes,
Tabitha, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
Harlan County.
And tell me about your family growing up. You had mom and dad?
Yeah, I had a mom, a dad. My dad, they're both passed away, but my dad was an alcoholic, and my mom worked hard trying to raise us 3 kids. I've got a brother and a sister.
How far did you in school?
I quit in my 12th grade year, but I went and got my GED before my class graduated.
Oh, great. How would you describe your childhood in general?
It was a happy childhood. Didn't have a lot, but overall we was happy kids. Mom and Dad did everything they could for us.
It's a beautiful part of the country to grow up in.
Oh, I love it here. Yeah. I have went to. I visited Florida. I visited Tennessee. I visited other places, but there's no place like home. I get homesick.
Tell me about your life now. You have children?
I got 2 kids. My oldest one, she's 23, and then my youngest son, he's 15. He'll be 16 this year. I got 3 grandkids. The oldest one is 4, and then the youngest one just turned 1.
And you're raising your kids now?
Huh?
You're raising your children now?
Yeah, I've always raised my kids. My daughter don't live with me. She's got her own family, but my son does.
Right. And you're married?
No, we've been together 15, about 14, 15 years, but we're not married.
And who's the father of your children?
Kenneth Marlowe is my daughter's dad, and then Shelby Shell is my son's dad.
Would you care to share the story you told me?
About Shelby?
Yeah.
He's the one that got accused of killing Ronnie King, the mayor of Edwards.
How many years ago was that?
Oh my goodness, I'd say maybe 7 or 8 years, just roughly. That was after me and him had split up. And I've worked really hard on my son to make sure he's not got his genes.
Right. So your son is doing fine now.
Oh yeah, he's thriving.
He's 15?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's a good boy.
He really is. Ain't been in trouble. He's the typical teenager. He's mouthy, but he ain't never been in no serious trouble, anything like that. I'm very blessed with both of my kids.
And you're going through something now personally that is a struggle for you, right?
Yeah, I was diagnosed with, at first it was stage 3 breast cancer, and now it's stage 4 breast cancer because it's in my bones. Yeah. They said life expectancy is 5 years, but my doctor said that he does have a patient that's walking around that's got the same thing I do 10 years later. So I'm going to be one of them people.
Good for you. I think just having that hope and drive to be there for your kids or for your family.
Yes, my kids and my grandkids, that's what's keeping me going. And that's how my mom was too. It seems like once us kids told her that, it's okay. If you're tired and need to go home, it's okay. It seems like that's when she passed. I think she hung on for us and her grandkids.
How many years ago was it you were diagnosed?
Just recently, just a couple months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what do you go through emotionally finding out that you have stage 3 or stage 4 cancer?
Oh, it's hard. I'm trying to keep a positive outlook because I know He's gonna be the one to help me through this. But it's hard thinking that I might be leaving my son and my grandkids. My daughter, I wanted to see my daughter walk across that stage to get her diploma, and she quit school on me when she turned 18. So my son promised me that he would do it. So I hope that I'm here to watch him get that diploma.
She followed after her mom.
Yeah, she did.
But
she didn't get her GED. I got mine.
And are you going through pain now because of this? Or?
My hip, that's where I think they said that's where most of it is in my bones. My hip will give me a lot of trouble.
So the breast cancer has spread to your bones?
Yeah. It gives me trouble, but that's about it. Right now, the port in my neck has kinked. It's not kinked, but it has curved, and that causes pain right now. My next treatment is going to be Tuesday.
Chemotherapy?
Yes. And after that, I think we're going to talk about moving it to the other side.
What do you go through with your chemo treatments?
It was 6 hours long. But where they found out it's in my bones, they took one of the chemos away. I was on 2 different antibodies and 2 different chemos. They took one of them away, so now it's 4 hours long. I've had 2. The first one made me real sick. For like a week, I stayed sick. But this last time, praise God, I didn't get sick, none at all.
How old are you now?
41.
41. And your belief in God helps you?
That's right, yeah. And I
this.
think he's going to be the one to help me get rid of it, because just because there ain't no cure down here, don't mean there ain't no cure up there that he can't do.
What perspective how has it changed your view of your time here on Earth to have this diagnosis?
I always knew life was short, but I never realized how short it was until now. And you just keep thinking, am I going to have time? Am I going to have time? It's hard. I try not to let my old man and my kids hear me talk like that, but it is hard.
Do you have friends that have gone through similar things, or is there other groups?
My daughter's aunt, great aunt, which I call her my aunt too, she had breast cancer, I'd say about 18 years ago. And same breast, had it removed. They're going to remove mine after chemo. And she survived. She had open heart surgery, a mechanical aorta valve. Last year, the mechanical valve got stopped up, and they had her put to sleep, going to do surgery in UK. She had a 20% chance of living out of this surgery. The doctors was coming down to cut her open and looked up and seen something in the x-rays maybe, but realized that it was gone. In one day, God had took it from her, and she didn't have to have the surgery.
And she's still around?
Yeah.
Let's hope for something like that for you too.
Yep. But it was the lady that I was with in Everett,
actually.
Yeah.
And do you look back at your life and wish you had done things differently, or wish you had done things that you never got a chance to?
Maybe do stuff that I had never did, but as far as regretting like decisions and stuff, it wouldn't have led me here and made me the person that I am. I don't think I'm a mean person at all.
You've lived a good life, you feel like?
Yeah.
You've done the things you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Been there for your kids and stuff like that.
That's right. My kids and my grandbabies is my life.
Emotionally, what are you going through?
It's a struggle. Emotionally, it's a struggle.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, just the fear of what you're going to...
I watched my mom. My mom had colon cancer, and I watched her suffer so bad, and I'm afraid of that. I don't want that, and I don't want my kids to have to see what I seen my mom go through.
And living here in Appalachia, tell me what you see going on around you. A lot of people are involved in drugs here.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah, it's really bad here. Some of the best-hearted people turning to drugs. That meth has came in awful here. A lot of stealing, people lying. It's awful. Stuff I've never seen before. You go to Everett's, and when I was little, we didn't see homeless people in Harlan County. And now that's all you see. Sometimes if you drive early enough, you'll see people climbing out of the dumpsters. It's really sad.
Is it difficult for you? You're going through what you're going through with cancer, which was not something you chose to do, not something you got yourself into. It's just
right.
What happened to you. Those are the cards you were dealt. Is it difficult for you to go through that and then watch these people that are...
Oh, definitely.
Kind of deciding to destroy their lives?
Definitely, yeah. Sometimes I wished I could tie them to a tree and beat some sense into them. Drugs, it's hit a couple people in close to me and my family, and it's sad. It's a sad illness to watch. Addiction is sad.
It's so sad that this this part of the country has so much of it.
Yes. Like I said, whenever I was little, you didn't see homeless people. And now you see them during the day, you see them sitting in front of the stores outside charging their phones. They're getting ran off. It's pitiful.
Why do you think there are so many? Like
Drugs.
that? No, but why do you think there's so many involved in drugs? Is it because there's no jobs? Is it because
Yeah. Used to mining was the only thing here.
Coal mining.
And now that the coal mines is took out, there's nothing here for these young kids. So I think they get mixed up in the wrong crowds and turn to drugs.
are you worried about your children?
Definitely. Yeah. Not so much my daughter, my son. He has seen it firsthand in our community, and he's totally turned against it. But where he's going to be going to high school next year, I'm scared of him getting mixed in with the wrong crowd and turning to drugs. And I'm scared if something happens to me, he'll turn into drugs.
Yeah, there's a girl who I interviewed from Clay County who's in high school. I think she just graduated. And her entire family is involved in drugs pretty heavily. And she saw that and decided to kind of steer clear of all that and stay on the right track.
Yes.
And now I think she's going to nursing school, and I think she's getting married now.
Yeah,
So I think just
that's great.
sometimes being around it.
That's why I don't worry about my daughter. She's seen her dad and a few other people in our family, and she's so turned against it. She's going to be 23 this year, and she still talks about how she don't like it. So I'm not too much worried about her. She seems to have a good head on her shoulder. But my son, he's got so much faith that I'm going to fight this and be okay. And he prays for me constantly. There was one day he even said, asked me if I thought that it would do any good if he prayed like every 15, 20 minutes on trying to help me. And I told him that God's always listening, but he don't have to pray, that often unless he wants to talk to God. But I'm scared that if something happens to me, he'll lose that faith and turn to drugs.
Mm. Are you worried at all about his father and him inheriting some of those personality traits?
Yeah, I really do. But me and my old man, we've worked hard to try to drill certain stuff in his head, and he's a good-hearted person. So, and his sperm donor will never get out of prison. So I used to worry about him getting out and catching them out in the camp playing and just pick them up and stuff. But I don't worry about that no more because I was told that he'll never get out of jail.
Has your son met his father?
No. When he was maybe 1 or 2, Jason had left to go somewhere. And I think he was sort of watching for Jason to leave because not too long after that he come. And I tried not to let him in, but he pushed the door open and came on in. And he was trying to take him outside. And I knew if he took him outside, I might not never see him, so I wouldn't. I got my ball back, and I wouldn't let him do that. But he don't remember that. My son said that he didn't know who that was, but he seen the devil in his eyes. My son was really afraid, was crying and everything of him after he left. But I think that was it. That was the last time that he'd met him. And where he don't remember it. He knows that I got with Jason when he was a year old, and he calls Jason Dad. But Jason's been here for him. That is his dad. And he knows that Jason's his stepdad, that he's got another dad, but he don't know a whole lot about him.
And Tabitha, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life in this battle you're going through now?
Follow your dreams. If there's something that you want to do, do it. And be kind to people. It don't take nothing to be kind to people and help people. All this hate in the world, we need love.
Beautiful. Tabitha, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Oh, thank you for listening.
And I wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.